Hi, I can't believe it is almost the end of the year. This year has just raced past and it has been a rather awful year for me. It turns out that years ending in the number 2 are the worst for me. This year has been terrible. And 2012 was terrible as well. What I'm going to do in 2032 is I'm going to go to sleep on December 31st, 2031 and not wake up until January 1st, 2023. That would be one way of avoiding it. I've had several bereavements this year, including my beloved Gramps. So I am not keeping a Christmas tree this year. I'm doing presents with some people, but no Christmas tree and massive celebrations. It's just too soon, and holiday season is the worst. When you really miss people. So yeah, no tree for me this year. It's been a rather terrible year, and I'm so glad it is over. So best eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadows, single eyeshadows of the year for me, because some of these may not, it's not the same for everybody, and I may leave out what you may think are key launches. At least one of these is not a 2022 launch. So off we go. This one is, so you may not have heard of this. At least you may not have seen this on this channel, but I've been wearing a lot of it, including right now. Adept Cosmetics. Adept Cosmetics, founded in 2017, is an Asian-owned indie brand. This is their Plain Jane remastered palette. It's just not the original Plain Jane palette, it's just a remastered palette. And inside you have 3 multichromes, that is 3 opaque multichromes, 6 sheer duochromes, a couple of multichrome toppers, and what they call our shimmers, but what happen to be iridescent multichromes. So overall, an incredibly amazing palette, possibly my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time, I must say, because this is very, very, very innovative. And this shade over here, this is an iridescent multichrome. It's actually made me addicted to iridescent multichromes, and I really think that iridescent multichromes will bring about world peace. If everybody had this absolute miracle, a pan of white product, and then you do this, and then the colors change, and it's not even remotely white, everybody is going to be so awestruck that they're going to forget all the divisive things and stop fighting and everything, and there'd be world peace. Iridescent multichromes. There should be more iridescent multichromes. If it was legal to do, I would probably marry this palette. It is that good, honestly. So full review coming up. I am wearing a look from this palette right now. Everything in here for me is one and done, except for the sheer shades, which need a base. For base, I've been using something like MAC paint pots or the Smashbox Always On cream eyeshadows. Something like that will do. Just the one base shade, and then on top of that you apply your sheer shade. But this is a one and done look. It is this shade alone and nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Yeah, when I do the review of this palette, I will show you how I achieved this look. That is the first one. The second one for me, a gift from my gran. Natasha Denona, My Dream Palette. Again, review already filmed, coming very, very, very soon. There is the one multichrome eyeshadow in this palette as well. But this is very, very neutral and very everyday friendly. So I only use 2 kinds of eyeshadows these days, either multichromes or neutrals. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. The next one for me this year, my first Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. This is the Utopian Dream, and this one is a multichrome over here. I have actually done a look in a few videos earlier this year featuring that particular eyeshadow and nothing else, a one and done look. What happens with palettes where there is only one multichrome and the rest are, not multis, you tend to use that one shade, and a lot of other shades tend to languish. So I will no longer be buying pre-made eyeshadow palettes unless they're all multi or duochrome color shifting eyeshadows that I don't really have in my stash. Neutrals I have enough of, so no more pre-made eyeshadow palettes. I just wanted a Pat McGrath, so I bought it. When I was really, really, really depressed, this palette practically kicked me out of depression. This is an inner corner shade. The neutrals will be used as base shades, but this inner corner shade may not really get used. I might reach for this more. These two definitely will get used. This one will not get used. It is not neutral. So, yeah, and it is not multi-chrome. This one will not get used. So, yeah, for me, pre-made eyeshadow palettes, not a good idea anymore. Which is why I bought the Charlotte Tilbury Hypnotizing Pop Shot Singles. These are from Charlotte Tilbury's holiday launch. This one is Cosmic Rocks and this one is Lover's Diamond. This one is a proper multi-chrome, which I really, really, really like. I have used it in a look. I will show this to you in detail. This one, sadly, I expected a duochrome. It wasn't. It was a plain old shimmer, so I don't really love this one. It will get used in semi-neutralish looks, yeah, when necessary. When, you want to glam it up but not over-glam it up. But it doesn't come anywhere close to this. This one is the winner from that collection. I shouldn't have been taken in, they said multi-chromes and duochromes, and this looked like a duochrome. The photographs were rather misleading, so I bought this. Shouldn't have. So review of that one coming soon as well. The next one is a brand, a UK-based indie brand that I discovered this year, and am I addicted to that brand? It is called the Pastel Roses. So I have, if you've seen my haul post, you've already seen these. These are duochromes. Hang on. These are multi-chromes. And these are special pressed shadows. So you've already seen these in my haul video. If you haven't, do check out my haul video. I will be doing a review or several reviews of these eyeshadows, in categories, multi-chromes, duochromes, special shadows, and so on, eventually. I've got one more batch coming in on Black Friday. This video is being filmed on the Sunday following Black Friday. That is November 27th. So I've got another 10 or 11 rather eyeshadows coming in from the Pastel Roses, and then I'll slowly start featuring them in looks one by one, and then review them in categories. But I am absolutely blown away by the Pastel Roses, because I agree there are certain eyeshadows where the formula is a bit flaky for my liking, and I don't really love flaky texture in eyeshadow. But in terms of color shifting and pigmentation, nobody can come close, and the multi-chrome formula, top notch. Actually, I have iridescent multi-chromes from the Pastel Roses coming in. Stay tuned for all of that. Another discovery that I made, you've already seen this in my haul post for 2022. MBA Cosmetics stands for My Beauty Addiction. So these are duochromes. This one's a multi-chrome quad, and this is actually a gift with purchase. So they come in with an embossed pattern, and again, very, very, very nice shift even for the duochromes. I absolutely love these. Review coming soon. Now these two also came in this year. I mentioned them in my haul post. I've said I am buying these, but they haven't arrived yet. So they've arrived. I haven't tried them at all. This is called Pretties for Your Face. Actually, a small indie brand run by a very lovely person who really helped me with my order. Most of these are more duochrome than multi-chrome, and this one is a custom palette. You fill up the palette with eyeshadows of your choice. Dandelions Cosmetics. Most are multi, some are duochrome. I haven't touched these, not even swatched them, so I will play with them and then review them in the coming year. I also have Lidl Cosmetics coming in from a Black Friday purchase. And I've also discovered a couple of other UK-based indie brands. So in 2023, you will have three kinds of posts. Empties, of course. Advent calendars, when there's Advent calendar season, if all goes well. And indie brand multi-chrome eyeshadows. So you'll only have three kinds of videos on this channel next year. So I think for me, the best eyeshadow of 2022, the best eyeshadow palette of 2022, it is a 2022 launch, is the Plain Jane remastered palette from Adept Cosmetics. There are 12 eyeshadows, and every single one of them suits my skin tone and gets used. And it isn't a question of, like in a pre-made palette, oh, they'll all suit my skin tone. I can use them, but I don't actually. I stick to 3 or 4 shades. This isn't the case here. These are all one and done. Each of them will be featured in looks on this channel. Yeah, I will also wear them outside in real life. So palette wise, this one's the best. Single eyeshadows wise, I love the Pastel Roses the best. Pastel Roses. Palette wise, I like Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with the formula at all. Love them. It's just that, you know, pre-made eyeshadow palettes, and I'm no longer in the space for pre-made eyeshadow palettes unless everything is a unique shapeshifter, like, I mean, color shifter, shapeshifter, color shifter like this. What are we talking about? Werewolves? No. Color shifter eyeshadows. Unless everything is like that, I'm not interested in pre-made eyeshadow palettes anymore. So those are my top 6 eyeshadow singles and eyeshadow palettes, eyeshadows for 2022. Which are yours? I would love to know. Do tell me that in the comments below. Do also tell me if you have tried any of these or if you want to. I highly recommend some of them, particularly the indie ones. Oh my god. You'll see them in looks and reviews of each of these. Some of them have already been filmed. The Natasha Denona review is filmed and is awaiting upload. And the Charlotte Tilbury is also filmed. The Adept Cosmetics I am filming today, long overdue review. So yeah, do stay tuned for all of the reviews. Yeah, it may be well into 2023 in some cases, such as the Pastel Roses, but I promise you they are worth waiting for. So that's all from me for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please do give me a thumbs up. Please do hit the subscribe button. Please do ring the notifications bell. I'll speak to you soon.